Of Chicago Bulls Central, your number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. We got a game today. It's game day as the Chicago Bulls are facing off against the San Antonio Spurs in San Antonio. We're going to talk about it, break it all down, have some fun. Will the Bulls continue to win streak? We're going to talk about it right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans, Bulls, it's game day. Listen, we about to face off against Wemby, right? In the San Antonio Spurs, Greg Popovich on that side, Devin Vassell having a solid season, Johnson having a solid season for them. This is a game where I think the Chicago Bulls have to execute that brand of team basketball on the offensive side of the ball, and then bring that intensity we've seen from them on the defensive side of the ball as well. Rebounding well, forcing turnovers, getting out in transition when it makes sense, right? Moving the ball around, not standing around watching DeMar go to work or anything like that is all going to be important tonight against the San Antonio Spurs. Not even just because of the players that they have on the roster, but more so because of the strategists they have at the head coach is Greg Popovich, who, we've seen Billy Donovan can get out coached. Some of us in this chat can out coach Billy Donovan at times. So you just have to be locked in. You have to be engaged. You have to get everybody involved, keep that ball moving around so that way everybody feels like they have a part in the game plan. And that's the things that's going to help the Chicago Bulls team possibly beat the San Antonio Spurs today. It's not going to be easy, right? Even though you look at that San Antonio Spurs team with only 3 wins on the season, they're on like a 13-game losing streak that we know about. But you cannot take them lightly. Even with all that said, the Bulls have to execute the ball. And if you can rebound well, seeing how Vooch is going to play in this game, how Billy Donovan utilizes him is going to be important. And then also how the Bulls as a team can bat the length of Wembanyama. Like, that's going to be extremely important in this game. So, I have faith with the Bulls if they play the type of style they did in the first 2 games in this win streak. Not the Charlotte Hornets game. It was rough. It was back to seeing some of the old bad Bulls habits, and once you start seeing that, it kind of it brings that trauma and just how stagnant this team can be offensively. And I don't care what level of talent you have on the offensive side of the ball. If you're not moving without the ball, if you're not moving the ball around, if you're not limiting turnovers, it's hard to get good offense off in that case. And so, the Bulls have to get back to moving without the ball. Like, whatever that is, I know a lot of people look at that and say, hey, well, DeMar's slowing the offense down. And my thing with that is that DeMar isn't telling the players to stop moving without the ball. That's something in these players and in that play style that they do. And, that doesn't mean that DeMar doesn't slow things down. That doesn't mean that DeMar doesn't have his faults as well. But you got to come in, you got to play better. And this team has to be locked in and execute. And if they don't do that, they're going to lose tonight against the Spurs. They're going to lose against the 3-17 team if they can't come in and they can't execute a team brand of basketball and act like they know what the fuck they're doing. That's gonna be an important part for the Bulls tonight. Act like they know what they're doing, like they've been here before, like they're a team that wants to go about their business and get it done. That's what they got to do. Like, you just got to come in here and get the goddamn job done. And part of that is on coaching, is part of that is on Billy Donovan, part of that's on the players, part of that's on I don't even know what to say, right? So you got to do that. And if we can get a better output from the bench as well, our bench production in the last game was god awful. Now, when you move Alex Caruso off the bench, that's gonna do some of that as well. So let's see if that's gonna be the case, if they can come in here and play better than what they have. But we'll see. Right now, I think Torrey Craig and Alex Caruso are both slated to play. I'm trying to look to see if there's been any updates on that I've seen. But let's see. I don't see anything out there. Looks like everybody's there. Everybody's at the game though, except Zack. So you got that. Those new player jerseys too. Some of those are ugly. Some of those are god awful. But that's a story for another day. We'll talk about that at another time. The Bulls have not had a 4-game winning streak since February 9th through 24th of 2022. We are almost 2 years to the last time the Chicago Bulls had a 4-game winning streak. That is crazy. That's crazy. And so if they do get this 4-game winning streak tonight, albeit all 4 of those games without Zach LaVine, That'd be wild. That'd be wild to be able to say. So let's see how this Bulls can come in here and take care of business tonight. Let's get into the comments, see how you guys are feeling. Shay says, we cannot afford to take the San Antonio Spurs lightly. Last Potomac. Way too early and get ready for Monday and Tuesday because we're going to have a long next week. Yeah, definitely difficult schedule ahead for the Chicago Bulls. They can't take anything lightly. And listen, the Bulls are right there with the San Antonio Spurs. We suck, so you can't take anybody lightly. But next week we got Milwaukee on Monday, Denver Tuesday, Miami Thursday and Saturday. So 2 games against Miami. We got it. We back to playing real games. Then we come back from that with Philly, LA, San Antonio, Cleveland, Atlanta, Indiana. And 2 games against Philly. That takes us through the new year. It's about to get it. The season's about to get real. If I'm Patrick Williams, I'm clam physical with vinegar. I'm playing physical with Vassell is probably what you mean there, Shay. Like what we got going on, bro? You can't have Tourette's of the fingers, my guy. Like you can't have Tourette's of the fingers. We need to get this together for you, bro. It's happening way too much for you lately, bro. What we got going on there, man? Is everything okay at home? Is everything okay at home? Like I'm a little bit concerned about you. If you just want us to send help, just say send help. We'll get some help out there ASAP. Just say send help because I'm clam physical with vinegar. What? Anyway, I'm playing physical with Vassell all game. Now, don't get me wrong. He is tall, but at the same time, his body hasn't developed yet. So play physical and force him to make plays, to make mistakes. Sorry, I got to read. As much as I'm talking about you, I got to read correctly. Nikola Vucevic and especially Andre Drummond need to establish themselves whoa. What is that? Yeah, go ahead. Big homie. Hey, now you got to come tell the people hi. Come on. No, come on. Yeah, come tell the live stream people hi since you wanted to come interrupt me so you can get some ice cream. There go little Haize. What's up, handsome? Give me hugs. I love you. All right. Hey, listen, last time you had that ice cream, you left the ice cream cone upstairs. So, hey, did you clean it up yet? Go ahead. I love you. All right. Finish this. Yes. All right. San Antonio is well coached with Greg Popovich. They don't have enough size and don't rebound. Yeah, they're in the middle pack of rebounding. They're surprisingly enough 3rd in the league in assists. So look out for that. They move the ball around out there. So first look at Bulls versus Victor. Let's make it a W, though that's not hard since the Spurs are tanking for probably another 3 seasons until they're loaded with 6 to 7 top prospects. Yeah, listen. I don't even know if they're like, are you tanking if you're just a young team that doesn't know how to win? Like, and that's why, like, for the people who are like, well, the Bulls need to get younger, trade everybody. It's like, you want to keep some veterans around, right? You want to keep some veterans around. So, we'll see what happens with that one. Ali LaFour said last night, I'd never thought of it this way. The in-season tournament is a great way to determine how ready your team actually is before the end of the season. It's a long one. I wouldn't necessarily agree with it because I don't think every team takes an in-season tournament games right, and there's still regular season games. Like they're just regular season games, just designated as in-season tournament games. So I don't know if I agree with that. Gang, Bulls need to not allow this terrible team and their losing streak tonight. Hey, let's hope that's not the case. Cannon in the building says, Haize, I'm at the game hoping for a W. Hey, I hope for a W with you there, brother. Definitely hope with that. So what does it tell us about Zach LaVine and his impact on the Bulls if the Bulls end up winning 4 in a row? That the Bulls have played some absolutely god-awful, terrible-ass teams? I mean, the Milwaukee Bucks one, don't get me wrong. That was a quality win. You can't overlook that. But let's see how the Bulls start doing next week when things start getting tight in there again. So last time we beat Spurs was in 2018, and yeah, we need to win these before we go back to the Bucks. They will be ready for us this time. Oh, that's facts. They're definitely coming in there, trying to get that victory back. So love seeing black fathers who are for the family. I appreciate that. Definitely appreciate that, man. Yeah, I appreciate that. Listen, for those that don't know, I'm a solo father. Like that's it. It's me and my children. I like that's not that their mom isn't in their life, so I'm not making it seem like that. I like it is what it is. But they live with me, and they're my babies, man. They're my babies. What's good? To bed damn Chicago Bulls content maker in the world, best damn Chicago Bulls content maker in the world. Your boy is at the game. Hopefully I witness a 4-game winning streak. Well, shout out to you, VO Walker. Cannon's in there too. Maybe y'all should link up, man. At least Lil Haize interrupted while wearing a Bulls beanie. That's actually not a Bulls beanie. I hate that beanie. That's a Columbus Blue Jackets beanie, and that is a god awful team. So like, I listen. It is what it is, man. Listen. He used to walk around the house in a beanie and mittens when he was a baby. Like it's a texture thing for him. I think he always got to have something on all the time. Like, and most of the time, like he'll have on a beanie and no pants. Like it's so crazy. The dude just at random points would just be walking around with no pants on, and you just like, hey, what we doing? Like, what are we doing? Anyway. I saw a report LaVine watches this show and realized Bulls fans, too trill and the drip lord brings the heat every day. He's deciding to stay. See red. That's hilarious. Zach LaVine probably would want to fight me if he watched this channel with the time that I said, Goo goo gaga, your daddy sucks ass. But anyway, I'm at the point where wins and losses don't matter. It's what the culture is throughout the team and organization the rest of the year. Oh, for sure, Duke. Like, I think at this point, we're at the point where it's not necessarily about wins and losses. And the thing that sucks is that we're still in the first quarter of the season, right? And we're already here. But I think at this point, it is about how are the young players developing? How many of those young players do you see being able to be part of your team going forward into the future? Right now, Kobe's the one, right? And I would assume to a degree as well. Patrick Williams is starting to round out too, but like Kobe White is the one young player on this team. It wasn't even drafted by this front office. It's really showing, hey, regardless of whatever the next wave of this team is, I'm about to be a force as long as you get me shots. And so that's great to see from Kobe White as well as he's becoming a more efficient scorer too. Shay says, what I really was trying to say is Patrick Williams needs to be physical with Victor. Even though he is tall, he still makes a lot of mistakes and keep him out the paint. Oh, that's facts. Like, this is the opportunity where you're going to see some people be able to guard Victor Wemby that just in 2 or 3 years can't do shit with him. Like, it's just, this is that one time. So Alex R in the building says, expecting Kobe to have a good game. If he's making his threes, he really is deadly. Oh, facts. Like, and not even just the threes. Like, Kobe White's starting to be able to create separation in the mid range too. Now, we haven't seen as much of that since DeMar came back because that's where DeMar primarily operates in. But Kobe's just turning out now. I don't think Kobe has the finishing ability to ever be a true 3-level scorer, but he can finish around the rim, right? He can break down the defense and get some open shots, but specifically when his 3 balls falling and that mid-range shot he's creating that separation, hey, Kobe gets in a rhythm. It's beautiful to see. Austin in the building says, what's good, y'all? Let's get this dub. Definitely let's get this dub. Like, I mean, listen, like I said, I'd rather this team play well at the end of the day, but dubs help. Dubs definitely help. Let's see. Lil Famo says, respect just went up. Didn't really have a dad. Seeing you there for your kids. Big salute, my dog. I appreciate you, Lil Famo. Hey, listen, one thing that I will say, regardless of anything else, is that I had an amazing father as an example. Like, you guys have seen it when my dad's in the chat. Like, I have the utmost respect for my pops because my pops he's a great dude. Like, that's just all jokes aside. My pops is an amazing just man in general. He's an even better father. And so I was lucky enough to have that example. And I find myself imitating, whether it be on purpose or through just osmosis, a lot of what my dad did. So I had that great example, and it means the world to me. My kids mean the world to me. And I feel like one of the best, what I will leave behind whenever my life stops, what I leave behind is my legacy. And what my legacy is, in large part, is my children are the largest part of whatever legacy that I leave behind. And so my children mean the absolute everything to me. Absolute everything to me. So that just is what it is. And it ain't what it ain't. What young players should we trade for that would work well with Kobe White and hinder his development and not hinder his development? Listen, at this point, you just need to get the best assets back. Like it's not about you don't go into a Zach LaVine trade necessarily being like, well, what team is gonna give us like whatever you get, you want the most talent back and let the rest work itself out, right? That's what it is. And at this point, too, I don't think that Kobe's at the place where he's going to let anybody hinder himself anymore. You're starting to see a Kobe that's not only turning into a solid player on both sides of the ball, but the leadership is also showing in Kobe. Kobe's not backing down from people. You're seeing Kobe talk to people. You're seeing Kobe get in people's faces. You're seeing Kobe tell people where they should have been defensively. Again, I'm not trying to say he's anywhere close to Alex Caruso, Lonzo Ball level of being able to do that, but you're seeing Kobe round out and grow into that way. So it's great to see. Great to see. Haize, way to be an outstanding father, man. I continue to see so much of you, my son, and you, man. Keep up the work on it. Appreciate that. So it's about to be an interesting night, y'all. Restream is starting to fuck up. It's definitely going to be an interesting night. So anytime Restream starts fucking up, it's an interesting night. So be prepared for an interesting night because it's Restream starting to fuck up and you don't know what the hell that's going to be. So let's see what else we got. Haize Jr. going to carry the legacy for sure. I see greatness. Hey, listen, one thing about my son, even my oldest son. So for those that don't know, I also have an older son. He's 17. He'll be 18 in April. He's actually getting ready to graduate high school. Is that my sons love basketball, but I don't know if they like younger me wouldn't have had the patience to do this shit either. So I wonder if it's going to take him some time to for me. I can't see my sons doing anything podcast wise. Like they just don't have the patience for it. They're both crazy people. But then again, I'm a little bit on edge too. So, you have that part of it as well. But yeah. Archangel says, how long since our last 4-game winning streak? 2 years, February 2022. So almost 2 years. Almost 2 years. Tell Candace to holla at me. I'm at section 101. Candace, who's Candace? What we doing? Love seeing Kobe get after it defensively. Hope he spends the offseason with Caruso. I mean, listen, at this point, like Kobe's owned his own development, like going to work with Dribble Too Much, going to work with DeMar at times, his own personal trainer, like, even some of the offseason work with Chris Paul. Like at the end of the day, I think it's not about Kobe going to work with anybody else. Kobe is one of those players that I think we're starting to be able to trust. He's going to hit his development one way or another. It is what it is. Why don't you use a different stream platform? Well, it's a couple of different reasons. One, Restream still offers some of the best features. Two, keep in mind, I have a whole network. We got Bulls Central, Bears Central, we got Chicago Cubs and White Sox Central, we got Chicago Blackhawks Central, we got Chicago Sky Central. I use this for my hip hop podcast, The Breaks Radio. And so moving all of those shows over to a new platform with like all the hosts that we have as well could get a little bit difficult. So, we'll see. Eventually, could we move on to something else? Possibly. We could eventually. What are you doing down here? Come here. Asshole ass cats. Billy Donovan's going to have to step up against Popovich. Hope he doesn't get out coached. Oh, I mean, listen, one thing that you can bet on in life, well, two things you can bet on in life with Billy Donovan coaching your team. A lot of bubble gum is going to get chewed. There's going to be a lot out coaching, not in your favor. So, we'll see. We'll see if Billy Donovan can show. Billy Donovan's coached some really good games. That Milwaukee game, he coached an excellent game in that Milwaukee game. We've seen he's coaching some really good games against the Toronto Raptors for us since he's been the coach here. So he has it in there. It's just, we'll see. Bulls have been rolling since found that song on the soundboard. That's funny. This one. Wait for the breakdown. Wait for it. That's such a weird, just random song to have on the soundboard. That's just such a weird song. What's this one? I keep forgetting this is on here. Yes, I'll be making music and I'll just be forgetting about it. Like it just is what it is. Let's see what else we got in the building. Thanks for keeping me up to date with the Bulls news. Bulls fans will still be there regardless, wins or losses. Listen, that's why one thing I always said, I started this because I'm a Bull. I can talk about the Chicago Bulls every single day, win, lose, or draw. And so that's never going to change. I'm the only truly daily Chicago Bulls podcast around Monday through Sunday. We are approaching 1,000 straight days of content. We got a mere 84 days left, 83 days left until we're officially will hit 1,000 straight days of posting episodes every single day. 1,000 straight days. That's crazy. Ain't nobody doing it like we do. Hey, it's happy Friday. Have you seen the special jerseys they released? I love them. Wish they would be in hoodie form because I'm not a jersey person. I got to holler at Uncle Mingo because I need some of those jerseys, and I'm probably not going to be able to go to all the games to get those jerseys. I need some of those. Those things are fire. Well, some of them. There are a few of them there's, so what was there, 5 of them? I think out of that, 3 of them I really love. One of them I feel like, about, and then, so let me see. So the Vooch one, it looks a little too Atlanta Hawkish to me. With the P. Will one, I like the P. Will one a lot. I actually got some J's that would fit that perfectly. I really like that one. The Vooch one, the DeMar one I like a lot too. I like the DeMar one a whole hell of a lot. And the Kobe White one, fire. The Zach LaVine one, the UCLA colors with the Bulls, I don't know about that one. So, but I like a lot of those jerseys, man. This team needs to remember to move off ball. If we stay stagnant, we'll be very hard to win against any team. Facts. Like if you don't move without the ball, you become the easiest. I don't care if you can put Michael Jordan, LeBron James, Scottie Pippen, Wilt. No, let's not say that. Wilt. Where we're gonna go? We're gonna go Hakeem. You can put Hakeem. Did I even say 5 people? Luka. Throw Luka in there. So pick Kobe in there. If you're not moving without the ball, I don't care the amount of talent you have. You're gonna get your asses kicked. You got to get in there and move without the ball, man. It's crazy. Archangel says, when you take your 3-day vacation, I'm definitely having Haize withdrawal. I mean, listen, my 3-day vacation is going to be good. So we're slated to hit. We will hit episode 1,000, I think February 28th is when we're going to hit episode 1,000. So is there a game that day? Yes, we face Cleveland that day. There are 29 days in February this year, so there's a day off. So one of those days, no games. And then we have Milwaukee March 1st, and then no game March 2nd. So I'll only be missing one game, lucky enough. So Steve-O will be there to hold that down, but I'm taking my 3 days off. I don't care what nobody says. I'm taking those off. Sydney says, when are you moving back to Chicago? I mean, listen, if things keep progressing the way that they are, there's a chance of that happening. I'm not going to say it's highly likely. It depends on what me and the fam decide. But I will say this, that I know for 100% fact. This isn't just hyperbolic. This is 100% fact. If I was to move to Chicago next week, I'd have a job in the radio a month after that. But it's a big thing. You got to uproot your family. And then I got to I just like the opportunities that I would have if I was back in the city of Chicago is crazy because already some come in. Like I got an email today about it was something that somebody wanted me to appear in, and they were willing to throw me a little bit of change, but I would have had to be in the city tomorrow. And so it's just not feasible. But it is what it is, man. Like I said, this is that I'm just happy that I'm known. Like I am happy that like Bulls PR, things like that, they know me. And I appreciate all the opportunities that I get covering this team, not being in Chicago. But best believe, if I was in Chicago, if I was in the city of Chicago right now, this show would be there'd probably be so many sponsors on the show that y'all be like, "Hey, Haize, you went a little corporate." I'd have to mitigate it some, but like not even just for me, like for the squad, like the whole Chi-Town Sports Central family. If I was in Chicago, we'd have a studio that we all will record in, and it would be beautiful. And I won't lie that some part of me really, really loves and wishes that I can make that happen. But I got to think outside of just this passion that I have. So, it is what it is, man. Everything in God's timing is the way that I look at it. And so we'll see what God has in store for us. If the Bulls went through on a run that put them at 500 by the All-Star break, what would be your feelings about their season ongoing, my dog? If the Bulls are at 500 by the All-Star break, that would considerably change some things as far as the outlook of the team. Because at that point, you got to keep in mind, All-Star break is no longer like it used to be, where All-Star break was really close to the midpoint of the season. You're now about 2/3 of the way through your season by the All-Star break. So with that being the case, that would mean that they're on pace to probably finish above 500 or at 500 as well. That's going to put you in a play-in scenario that even could get you outside of it. At that point, especially with like Zack being traded or not by then, um, that would really make me think, hey, if AK goes to work and makes the right moves in this offseason, we could be talking about a team that goes from barely skating by to making the playoffs to a team that really can do some things. So what's wrong? Come here. Come here. Come here, baby. Come here. Come here. Y'all want to see my ugly cat? There goes my baby. There's my pumpkin. You okay? And she's off. Dun-dun-dun-dun-dun. The city needs you. Chicago needs to retain its proudest sons. I mean, listen, I would love to be in Chicago. Like, I'm not even going front. I would absolutely love to be in Chicago. Not even just because, like, I love this, like the city. Like, y'all hear me, people who hear me talk about my love for the city of Chicago, especially now that I've gotten to go and experience it as an adult and things like that. Like, I think they all see like the love I have. This is why, like, for example, and this isn't to throw anybody under the bus, but this is like when Mark K got to talking stuff about like Chicago fans, like it wasn't, I don't care less about your opinion on the team, like good or bad, like like that's never a thing. Like everybody deserves to have their opinion, but it's like when you got to attack in Chicago, it was like, okay, hold up, what are we doing here, bro? Like, so like, and my love for the city, the art, the theater that it has there, just the beauty of the city, especially as somebody who's like a photographer, the growth there, like somebody who works as me being somebody who works in film, like the city of Chicago has so many opportunities. And I hate that the city gets like this bad rap because of how it's portrayed in the media, and they like to highlight the bad. And don't get me wrong, there's some bad in every city, but the city of Chicago is such a special city, right? And I think that when you really learn the people of Chicago and you ingrain yourself in the city and the culture of Chicago and what the city means, right? And not just go to Chicago for deep dish, the pier, and the shed. Like when you actually go and learn the city, learn the heartbeat of that city of Chicago, like you have a completely different appreciation for it. And so, like like just being in that city, like it would be such a special opportunity for me. And it is what it is. Like I said, whatever God has in store, that's just what it comes down to. This ain't even to make it religious. Like I move through where I'm being called. And so that's all I can say on that. That's all I can say on that one. It's tough moving, especially when you don't want to ruin your son's relationships. I got it. Oh, my sons come with me, so that ain't that. I mean, that ain't. Well, my oldest, he's about to go to college. He's gonna do his own thing, but like my kids would be with me if I moved to Chicago. So, but that's it is what it is, man. Alex R says, glad I found your channel, man. Great community because I love talking about my team, Bulls fans till I die, and that's just what it is. That's what it is. Let's talk Bulls. So Chicago is definitely a creative melting pot, full of talent and heart. It's special, man. Like there's not like I don't want to make it seem like you can only do it in Chicago, but like there's only a few places where literally you can go and you can film a short film and have a different look and make it seem like you're in so many different places, right? If you go in different times of years, right? If you go in different parts of the city, like the food in Chicago we haven't talked about, right? The jazz scene in Chicago that we haven't talked about, like come on, man, like the city, it's very few. Like my favorite cities in the States, right? Keep in mind, I lived overseas for a long part. Chicago, DC. I absolutely love DC as well, right? But like Chicago's just special. Chicago's special, man. Chicago's very special. No, man. Make it about God. You're ordering. He's ordering your steps, and will make sure you are where you need to be. And that's the way I feel. Like I'm gonna be where I'm supposed to be at any given time. Like that's just what it is. I won't force it. I'm not somebody who likes to do that type of thing. Is force anything. Don't get me wrong. I make shit happen because I can make shit shake, but I'm not gonna force very much, right? I really want to attend a game at the United Center. I will feel at home in that environment. I want to cheer my team with the home squad. Listen, the United Center, if you haven't gotten to catch a Bulls game at the United Center, it's special. It's really special. It's really special. Um, it's Seaways World. So, Haize, you look 30 max. How you have a son in college. I just turned 37 on Tuesday. Like, I just turned 37 on Tuesday. So, my son's 17. He turns 18 in April, but I just turned 37 on Tuesday. I'm old. I'm an old bastard. Like, I'm 8 years older than Pat, for example. Like, and that's my little brother for life. But no, I'm old and I'm embracing it. It is what it is. Do you think Bulls are truly playing better without LaVine, or do you uh think their level of competition is somewhat mediocre, minus the Bucks, of course? I think it's a mix. Both things can be true. I think the Bulls are facing some easy competition here. I think their style of play has definitely been more fluid, is what I'll say. I think talent is still going to win out, and so if maybe players continue to grow and develop, maybe you can do that. But we've seen young, scrappy teams before be able to. Hell, we had that team here in Chicago for a while, right? Like that Kirk Heinrich, Ben Gordon, Luau Deng Bulls, like that was a Bulls team with Ben Wallace, the starting center, like that beat the defending champion Miami Heat, swept them in the playoffs, right? So like we've seen these young teams that don't necessarily have the talent level of some of the other teams that are just scrapping because they play a good brand of team basketball. They're tough on both sides. They're able to punch above their weight. So we'll see. We'll see. So true. I hate some of the outright lies out there about Chicago. Of course, any big city has typical big city issues, but Chicago is beautiful and gets hate by people who've never even been here. Oh, you can always tell when somebody's talking about the city that's never been to the city. That's talking about the city because of what they heard in the media, rather than going and experience the city itself. And I'll tell you what, a lot of those people are cowards because you know what? They'll never come to the city of Chicago because they're terrified. You know what? One thing about me, I am the same person that you guys see on the stream in real life. And I've never, even before the podcast started, never gotten anything but love in the city of Chicago. You know why? Because you can tell I love the city. I respect the city. There are also some places that I won't go, like, because I'm just not stupid. Hey, Pigeon, get down. What you doing? But yeah, you gotta, if you respect the city respects you. That's just really what it is. If you respect the city will typically respect you. If you come in tripping, they're gonna trip on you. And you really only have yourself to blame if that's the case, right? That's my opinion, that's my view on it. And it is what it is, man. I love the city. Love the city of Chicago, man. As a matter of fact, I would say this. If my dad moved back to Chicago, he lives in Cali now. If my dad ever moved back to Chicago, I'm there, period. I'm moving. I find a way, me and the kids, we're not immediately, but we're going back, period, because that's just is what it is, man. But like I said, we'll see where the journey, we'll see where life takes us, man. You never know. In 2-3 years, we could be talking about Haize having an actual studio, and like Chi-Town Sports Central, the network, has its own studio, and we're talking about delivering you guys some amazing daily content, and you just never know what it could be. So, like I said, wherever God takes it, man, that's where we're gonna go. That's how we're gonna move. Man, people talk shit about Chicago, but just be smart and know where to go and not to go. That's really what, and that goes to any city. Like, you got to know where to go and where not to go, man. Like, that's it. Like, you got to know where to go and where not to go. Same thing with St. Louis, man. St. Louis isn't as beautiful of a city as Chicago. I wouldn't say that there's as many opportunities in St. Louis either, but I tell you what, there's some amazing people in St. Louis too. Shout out to St. Louis. I gotta give my St. Louis, Chicago, Columbus, Ohio. Those are my cities, man. And yeah, my next series for those that don't know, like I get series in tattoos. Like I get my kids' names, this is Italian for the brothers. Me and my best friend both have this tattoo. This is Italian for the brothers, but like my kids' names is everywhere. One on my back. I got the Phoenix here for the rebirth. The next one is I'm getting the cities that made me. So I'm getting Vicenza, Italy, Mannheim, Germany, St. Louis, Missouri, Columbus, Ohio, and I'm getting the Chicago skyline as well on my back. So there you guys go on that one. There you guys go, man. It is what it is. Like that's the next series of tattoos that I'm getting, and that's going to be an undertaking. That's going to be an undertaking. I went to the game with my dad versus the Hornets. He's a season ticket holder and got moved right behind the Hornets bench. That shit was wild. Melo was dripping in ice. Not sure if you saw my IG story. I did not see your IG story, Sydney, but it is what it is. Haize, you back in Chicago in studio. I will personally come there and be the fan audience. Hey, bro, like me. Like, the funny thing is me and Pat talk about it all the time. Like if me and Pat or if I was in Chicago with Pat, like the whole Chicago media scene would go through us. Like that's just is what it is. Like you can't hold that back. So it is what it is, man. Like I said, I don't want to keep ruminating over it. It'll come when it's ready to come. The city got love for those who love the city. That's really what it's really that simple. Like it's really that simple. If you love the city, you respect the city. The city will love you back. That's it. That's it. And yeah, it is what it is. But I tell you what, though. Getting out of towners with the Chicago handshake is crazy. That's crazy. Like real talk. Like if you ever want to like drink alcohol through a sock, drink a Chicago handshake. For those that don't know, I'm putting you guys on game. If you're not in the city of Chicago and somebody from the city of Chicago gets you a Chicago handshake, your life is going to change. You will never look at alcohol the same. Like y'all think the reason why y'all see me take like double shots of fucking tequila like it's nothing, drink a Chicago handshake. You drink a Chicago handshake. This shit's crazy, man. It's crazy. Trayvon Lyle says from Chicago, but been living in Columbus, Ohio for the last 15 years and haven't had the chance to experience Chicago as an adult. I live in Columbus, Ohio now. That's crazy. That's where I live now. I live in Columbus, man. I need a watch party with you and Pat in Chicago one day. Would love to meet you two in person. Well, listen, go to the Bull Summerfest. You always are going to see me there. That's something that I will never miss is the Summerfest. I've been there at the first two. I'm never going to miss the Summerfest. Never. That's something I will always be at. I try to go to 1 or 2 games a season. We'll see which game I'm going to go to this year. I may wait until it warms back up. There's something about not having to experience Chicago winter that I definitely appreciate, man. So. Did your pop's family come? Yes, my dad's born and raised in Chicago. Was he born? Yeah, he was born in Chicago. My dad's whole side of the family's from Chicago. So anytime you guys hear me talk about my pops or hear me talk about my dad's side of the family's in Chicago. So always. Alex R says, "What is the Chicago handshake? Sound pretty crazy." I'm not gonna tell you, bro. When we do this watch party, just show up. You guys, That's what. That's what we're gonna do. When we do the live watch party, we're gonna start off. Everybody in attendance has to start off with a Chicago handshake. That's what we're gonna do. We got more Columbus. We're gonna have to all link up and watch a game at a bar. There's actually a Bulls bar in Columbus. I haven't gotten to go watch a game there yet because I do this, but I'll be if everybody who's from Columbus, matter of fact, hit me up on socials at CEO Haize, or you can email. The email's in the description. I'll put it up right here. If you're in the city of Columbus, hit me up at this email. Let's try to plan something to where we all link up and watch a game in Columbus together. I can't think of anything better to do. Like even if it's over maybe the holiday weekend, something like that. Hit up at that email if you're in the city of Columbus. We'll figure something out. So hit up that email. We'll figure something out. We will figure something out. Man, I know you have your family there in Ohio, but have you considered moving? Yes, that's what you, and Antoine, you missed it. That's literally probably what we've been talking about like the last 15 minutes. Yeah, listen, like I said, it is what it is, man. It is what it is. Haize, is it true that these past 3 games prove the Bulls are the greatest team in the game right now, and they're going to win the next 3 championships in a row? Hey, no. But here's what, like I told y'all, and for those that don't know this, I already have my exit strategy. If the Chicago Bulls win 3 titles in a row while I'm the host of this podcast, I'm retiring after title number 3. That's it. If the Bulls win 3 championships in a row while I'm hosting this podcast, I'm retiring after the 3rd title. That's it. Steve-O's taking over. I'm gifting the podcast to him or my son, who's ever ready to take it off. I'm riding off into the sunset. I'm going off on that high. And can't nobody tell me shit. If the Bulls win 3 championships in a row while I'm the host of this show, I am retiring. I'm going out like Jordan. That's it. At the final game, when the buzzer hits and the Bulls have locked in the 3rd title in a row while I'm hosting this show, I'm done. You ain't got to ask. You ain't got to worry about it. You ain't got to ask no questions. Don't put no Haize on no T-shirts where Haize has been. I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm done. That's it. Can't nobody tell me shit. I am done. That's it. Done. That's it. I am literally done with this. If that happens, I am done. That's my exit strategy. That's what's happening. If the Chicago Bulls win 3 championships in a row while I'm hosting this here podcast after title number 3, don't look for me. Don't ask for me. Don't miss me. Don't do none of that. I'm done. I'm retiring. I'm gone. I'm done. I'm not wearing pants. I'm not doing anything. You can't tell me shit. I'm not doing shit. I'm literally done with it. I'm done. So there you guys go. There you go on that one. So everybody knows what it would take for Haize to retire. So everybody knows. So Trevon says, hell yeah, man. Bulls Nation really is worldwide because I had no idea there was a Bulls bar here in Chicago. Yeah, there's a Bulls and a Bears bar. The Bears bar is weird, though, because the name of the bar is it called the O Bar? They actually recently changed the name because they got new ownership. I keep getting invited to be able to go out to it. I just have not had the time because I cover the Bears for Bleacher Report. So I always have to be live right after the game, like literally right after the game. So I haven't had a chance to go out to the Bears bar either. But, it is what it is. Well, hope to enjoy your content next 12 years of Bulls Pod. Hey, listen, I'm not stopping until that happens. Death or the Bulls win 3 titles. That is the only way that Haize stops doing Chicago Bulls Central. Death or the Bulls win 3 titles. So let's hope that the 3 titles come before death, because that would be crazy. That would be crazy. You got to be in Chicago when that happens, and we got to flip some cop cars. It's tradition. That's hilarious. That would be funny. Do you feel like Zack seemed a little checked out in his media interview or seemed engaged? I mean, he was engaged. He was giving an interview, but here's what I'll say. I think you saw Zach LaVine that's tired of the shit. Definitely think you saw that. Antoine says, I don't believe you, fam. You will continue if they keep winning titles. If the Bulls win 3 in a row, no, I'm telling you, I promise you. That's not hyperbolic. It's not just saying shit to say shit. I'm retiring. We got the starters out tonight, same starters. Kobe, Caruso, DeMar, P. Will, Nikola Vucevic. That's our starters for the night, guys. So I don't even know what you're talking about because I'm not surviving the night of our first championship. Oh, alcohol poisoning is definitely in the cards. Like, don't even worry. The Bulls win a title while I have this show. Alcohol poisoning is happening. Like, don't even worry about it. Matter of fact, Archangel, she's the only one that I know in here that for sure knows my address. If the Bulls win a championship, go ahead and call the police because I'm going to go ahead and send the ambulance because I'm going to have alcohol poisoning. I will have alcohol poisoning. So you need to protect me by going ahead and pre-calling the ambulance. When you hear the buzzer ring and the Bulls win their first title, just go ahead and call them because I'm definitely going to be in a coma. It's definitely going to happen. I'm going to be in a coma. I'm going to be at Bulls Fest. We definitely got to meet and act a fool. I will be at Bulls Fest this upcoming year. My kids will probably be with me this upcoming year because they've been asking to go and I haven't taken to the last two just because. Listen, it's been my time to shine, but I definitely will have the kids out there, man. Caruso should really sit this game out to rest for the Bucks. Well, I mean, listen, if Caruso's healthy, he's healthy, man, and it is what it is. We'll see what's that the case. I mean, it doesn't seem like he's. Hopefully, they feel comfortable about that the thigh injury that he got, that he's ready to go. So. I'm surprised Alex is playing tonight. That dude is Captain America on this Bulls team. Facts. The only way the Bulls get a chip right now is if Kobe White is another Tyrese and P. Will becomes Kawhi. Yeah, with this current roster, that's the only way, but we'll see how it goes. But all right, guys, we're going to go ahead and get ready to wrap it up. We'll go ahead and end the show. Get ready to watch this game, man. I love you guys. Thank you guys so much for being the best part of Chicago Bulls Central. Make sure you guys hit the subscribe button if you're not subscribed to the channel. We're still trying to get to 20,000 subscribers by the end of this season, so that we can bring BKR Sport over to the. Matter of fact, here's the thing. If we hit 1,000 subscribers by the end of the season, me and BKR Sport, his schedule willing, will be at the Chicago Bulls home opener together next year. So there you guys go on that, man. Hit that. Love you guys. Go Bulls. Peace, y'all.